Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome you to Activation Learn. We are here to talk about why detoxify, an introduction to seasonal cleansing. And in a nutshell, really talking about the fact that this is, for me, one of the most exciting things that you can do because it enables you to be able to have a new beginning, a new start. And that's really why, in a nutshell, of the reason to detoxify. So let's get started. My name is Dr. Michelle Gamble, and I am the director of Sankofa Healing and Wellness, Sankofa Healing and Enrichment Incorporated. And one of the things that we do is that we integrate the ancient wisdom of our ancestors with the modern science to address the root causes of disease. Our mission is to assist all people along their path of healing and enrichment to claim and fulfill the promises of God for a prosperous and healthy life. Because I truly believe that it is the design of the divine for us to be healthy and prosperous at all times. A little bit about me. I kind of refer to myself as mommy chauffeur because I have 5 children, ranging in ages from 15 to 20. And a lot of my time is spent serving them. And I know many of you can relate because many of you I know are caregivers, people who just give tremendously of themselves, whether it be to your children. Some of us are taking care of our parents. Some of us may be taking care of other family members. Some of us are professional caregivers, whether it be in terms of being a teacher or a healthcare provider or a therapist or, oh my goodness, just a variety of different ways in which you can be a caregiver. My professional history is that I've been an educator for over 25 years. And I've been a certified doctor of natural alternative health for over 15 years. I'm also a certified colon hydrotherapist. And most importantly, I am a avid advocate for people who are working towards fulfillment and working towards self-empowerment. One of the things that we focus on at Sankofa is that exact theme, that theme of empowerment, because there's so many things in our world today that works to disempower us, works to give us that feeling of being a victim. And I'm here to tell you that we will be here to assist you on being a victor, not a victim of circumstances, of genetics, of the environment, of your history, whatever it may be that you feel is pulling you down. There is a route, there is a path in order to become a victor within your circumstances. So let's begin by first clarifying what our terminologies are, because there's a lot of misunderstanding and misperceptions as it pertains to cleansing. There's a focus that many of us have when we think about doing a cleanse, and we think, oh my God, it's going to be stringent. Oh, I don't want to do it. It's just going to be like, oh, I can't. And we look and we consider a cleanse as something that has to do with, I guess, depriving ourselves of what we consider to be, quote unquote, the good life, Another misperception is that cleanses focus on the physical, that, you do a colon cleanse or a liver cleanse or a kidney cleanse or a blood cleanse or something of that nature. And that you're using, like a little cleansing kit, commercial products, one size fits all. And that it's for a finite period of time. And that it's a means towards an end. A lot of time I hear people and they'll say, oh, I'm doing a cleanse because I want to lose weight. And really and truly, all of these perceptions are what we believe to be misperceptions and misunderstandings about what a truly holistic cleanse is. In our approach, we are using a cleanse. The reason why we talk about detoxifying is because this is the way in which to create breakthroughs in your life. A question for you. Is there a specific area of your life that you feel that there is stagnation, or perhaps there is a feeling of overwhelm. There's a feeling of being perplexed, bewildered. You have no idea of what to do next. You've tried so many different things, and yet you just can't seem to make a breakthrough. Or maybe there's an area of your life in which you don't have clarity. You know, you've pondered, you've worried, you're anxious about it, and yet still there just seems to be something that's holding you back, that's preventing you from being able to reach the other side, to be able to gain more clarity. Well, that is exactly why we talk about doing a cleanse. And that is exactly why we talk about the fact that a cleanse needs to be holistic. It needs to be something that addresses the mental, emotional, physical, as well as spiritual aspects of your being. And a cleanse has to be customized to deal with whatever it is that you are facing, whatever challenges you are presented with, whatever crossroads you may be standing at. And the reality is, now this is the kicker, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this one, but a cleanse is actually ongoing. It never ends. You realize that your body, your spirit, your emotional complex is constantly working at cleansing and detoxifying, constantly working to be able to clear away those things that no longer serve you, those things that are creating obstructions. Every single night, your body goes into overdrive, trying to sweep up the debris, whether it be oxidation stress, or whether it be a fatigued adrenal system, whether it be the blockages that you have in your colon. As soon as you go to rest, your body is working to try and remove all of those things. Your spirit is constantly in the process of whispering to you, hey, come on, you can do this. Let's get rid of certain things. Let's let go of certain things that are not serving us any longer. Your heart is constantly working, constantly attempting to heal any emotional wounds that you have from the past. In your mind, you realize that your mind sometimes is in overdrive. And I know that there are points in time when the thought comes to you, you know what? I need to let go of that thought. That is your spirit. That is your mind. That is your heart. That is your body constantly working to heal you. And the first step of healing is cleansing and detoxification. In actuality, it is an ongoing process that fluctuates, that ebbs and flows. Sometimes we rev up and we focus on the process of cleansing and detoxification. And there are other times when we kind of put cleansing and detoxification in the background, but it never stops. That is the beauty of nature. That is the beauty of the design of the universe. The universe conspires in your favor. The universe conspires to help you to heal. And one of the ways in which it actually activates this desire that it has for your prosperity and your health and your well-being is by constantly cleansing. Now, during a cleanse, what we are doing is saying, you know what? Why I need to cleanse, why I need to detoxify is because I want to be the best me that I can be. I want to make breakthroughs in every aspect of my being. I want to think with clarity and have insight into all the areas in my life. I want to have a light heart, a heart that can love and can feel and can be joyful and joyous and not bogged down with the things of the past, the angst of the past, the anger of the present, the pain of past situations. I want a body that feels renewed, rejuvenated, energetic. I want all of those things. That is why I want to cleanse. That is why I need to detoxify. And to give further clarity, we want to talk about the distinction between detoxification and cleansing. Because sometimes we do detoxify, you know, it's like saying, I'm going to do spring cleansing. spring cleaning in my house. And I go to my closet and I clear out some of the old outfits that I have. I go around the house and I pick up all the trash. I go to my office and I get the old papers that no longer serve me, right? And I put them all in these big garbage bags. That is detoxification. And I even get to the point where I take it to the door of my house. That is detoxification. And then something happens and I say, you know what? I really need all that stuff back. I want to hold on to it. Or something comes up and we run out of energy and we don't have the energy to take the bag to the curb or take the bag to the dump. And so we initially detoxify, but then that trash just kind of lingered. It never got truly cleared out, truly cleansed from our system. And that's what happens with a lot of people when they do a cleanse. They go through the process of detoxifying, of being able to break the toxins from their sites, whether it be, breaking up the sludge within the liver or breaking away the toxins within the kidney, or, breaking up some of the filth that's within the colon. But then, they'll say, oh man, I feel overwhelmed and I just feel sluggish and I'm starting to have headaches and I'm starting to feel woozy and I just don't feel good. And well, that's because they ran out of energy and they never completed the process. So they detoxified, but they did not fully cleanse. All of those toxins stayed within their person. Sometimes you may even go to a therapist and you may work on identifying certain emotional anchors, but then you don't do anything to clear it out of the system, to release it, or at least to negate it, to transform it. And that's the key to Sankofa's approach. Sankofa's approach is about transformation. And true transformation can only occur when you detoxify and you cleanse. So summarily, we talked about the whys of cleansing because there's toxicity in all aspects of our being. And yes, I can go into hours and hours of telling you about the various chemicals and the different negative thoughts that we tell ourselves that prevent us from having positive outcomes in our lives. I can talk about allergic foods. I can talk about denatured foods, junk foods. I can talk about the ego, that part of our person that keeps getting in the way of us tapping into our divine self. I can talk to you about the emotional anchors, and I can talk to you about the pollution of the water. But the reality is that you already know all of this. The reality is that the fact that you came to this workshop means that in some aspect of your life, you see the handwriting on the wall. You see there's a need in your life to release those things, those ideas, those emotions, those toxins that do not serve you. Whether they be mental, spiritual toxins, false gods, meaning things that we emulate and we call these the most important things in our lives. We slave ourselves for a job. We slave ourselves for money. And in that process, we self-sabotage our divine self, our desire to be connected to the true, authentic self. We know, you know, that there are certain emotional anchors that you can feel the heaviness and the weight in your life. The anchors, and they're keeping you back. They're holding you back, and you feel like, if only I could release myself from this. And then there's the physical toxicity, the congestion in the colon, whether it be from bloating, from gas, from irritable bowels, from not being able to properly absorb your foods, from eczema, from headaches, from emotional ups and downs. All of these are a reflection. All of these are the handwriting on the wall that is telling you, and you know this, I don't have to tell you, because all of these things are telling you it is time to break free. It is time to renew. It is time to recreate who you are, to redefine your reality. And that is the beauty. That is the why and the when for a holistic cleanse. Because you know that there are different areas of your life that you feel a need for a change. And I'm going to open the lines up for you guys to share if you'd like. If you sense that there's a need for a change in your job or your career, or you're looking for clarity, or if you sense a need for a change in your relationship, maybe there's something that you know needs to be done to bring your relationship to a new level. Or maybe there's something within your health that you feel is holding you back and keeping you from doing the things that you want to do. And there are numerous other major life-changing situations that you may be facing at this point in time. Now, the reason why we start the cleanse during the month of June is because it's in line with what we call the summer solstice. There are different times in nature that we can, I guess you can say, go along with the flow and gain that extra momentum from Mother Nature. You know, when the seasons change, that is Mother Nature saying it's time to be gone with the old and to bring in the new. Now, you can actually do a cleanse at any point in time. And like we said earlier in this presentation, you're actually cleansing every single moment of your life, although to a different degree of intensity. And these are the optimal times to take advantage of the momentum within nature to be able to have a truly effective cleanse. And who needs a cleanse? Well, I subscribe to the thought that everyone needs a cleanse. Well, let me qualify that. Everyone who is ready to make a dramatic change in your life, if you are ready for a breakthrough, if you are ready to have a renewed sense of being, or if you are ready for more energy, more life, more focus, more clarity, if you are ready to redefine yourself and create a new paradigm in your life, you're ready to challenge the old beliefs, the old emotional patterns, the old habits of the past, and you are ready to embrace growth and change, and you're looking forward to a new and better you, well, you are one of those people who not only needs a cleanse, every aspect of your being yearns, wants, feels a desire, and feels drawn to this process of cleansing to become more whole, to become holy. So we have what we consider to be an optimal approach to cleansing, and it's 21 days of coaching support. Because, you know, last time I checked, Dr. Google is very, very good at giving information. I mean, there's 50 million things out there in terms of how to cleanse, why to cleanse, and to cleanse, all those things. There is no lack of information out there. There's nothing that I can possibly tell you that you don't really have access to on the internet. In fact, I was doing some flooring work in my house recently, and I had to move the bookcases. So I got my son to help me with moving the books. And he's like, "Mom, why do you have all these books? You don't need any of these books. All of this stuff is on Google right now." And yeah, perhaps. But you know, it's not about information. It's about integration. It's about knowing how to apply effectively the bits of information that are applicable to your situation. Because there is truth, a tad bit of truth in everything out there. And yet, there's a lot of mistruth. Truth is determined by whether or not it applies to you. What is a truth for you is not necessarily a truth for me. It's not necessarily a truth for your husband or your children or your mom or your coworkers. And so during these 21 days, we do a lot of coaching support. The first week, we focus on the mental and spiritual aspects, because the reality is that no physical cleanse is really going to be effective until you start to examine and clear out the thoughts that are not conducive to healing. And so we have a daily conference call in which we talk about the different aspects of types of affirmations to help us in the process of clearing out. And in the second week, we continue this clearing and we go a little bit more intense with emotional clearance. And we do different breathing exercises with each other. And we do different meditations to help to clear things on the emotional level. And then last but not least, week 3, we pull everything together and we combine the mental, emotional, along with the physical components. Now, all throughout these 3 weeks, we're talking about all the different aspects of cleansing. We're giving tips on how to prepare for the next week of cleansing. You will also have access to our Embody 360 app that is on your phone. And with this app, you're able to get daily meal plans, and you're able to talk to me via text and communicate with me things that are on your mind, concerns that you have that are specific to you. And I'm able to respond back to what your specific concerns are through the app, as well as each night when we come together for the nightly conference calls. And you can either phone in, you can be in, we have some people that are going to be joining us from the Bahamas. So you can phone in from the Bahamas, you can phone in, or should I say log in via your computer with similar type of room, virtual online conference room. That's the one that we're in right now. So everything within the cleansing process is about supporting you on your personal journey and realizing that you are unique and your concerns are different from anyone else's. And I will be there with you all the way, every step of the way. I'm constantly accessible, whether it be through your app, or it be through text message, or it be through an email, or it be through coming to our group coaching calls in the evening. And later on, we'll talk about the fact that you will have one-on-one consultations throughout this process also, to be able to tweak things to your specific needs. So I'm going to open up the floor for any questions. And I'm going to go ahead and unmute everyone. So if you have any particular questions or concerns, or if you'd like to share with us, if you've had an experience doing a cleanse in the past, and what your experiences were with that particular cleanse, and what are some things that you're looking for? What are some breakthrough and some miracles and some just wonderful transformations that you're looking forward to? Well, I guess everyone's quiet today. I hear some little mumbling in the background, but no one is speaking up on the phone. You can also, if you're kind of a private person, you can choose to use the chat room, or you can feel free, as I said, to email me after this call or give me a call. And I want to thank you for taking the time to share your lunch with me. I wonder if maybe you could tell me what you're eating for lunch. I haven't eaten my lunch yet because I've just been so excited. But remember that 2 roads diverged in the woods, and I took the one that was less traveled, and
okay, what's your name?
In taking the road that's less traveled, it has made all the difference. And oh, I'm getting goosebumps because it is so true that I know it can be challenging sometimes to do something different, to go out on a limb, to shake things up. But I guarantee you, you will look back and you will have no regrets because the universe wants you to cleanse. God wants you to heal. And I want you to heal. And I know you want to heal. So I want to say thank you. And some of you are texting me in the chat saying that this session is confirming what you want and you need for detoxifying. And actually, I want to end by saying that our gift to you for joining us in this session is that you will start to get our video series on tips on how to create your own cleansing program and what are the who's, what's, where's, when's, and why's, because I was just really glossing over the surface. But we're going to give you much more in-depth videos giving you a lot more detail with regards to all of that. And there's also more information on our website if that's something that interests you in terms of detoxifying. So without further ado, I want you to finish eating your lunch and I want you to have a wonderful day. And as I said, if there's anything I can do to support you, feel free to give me a call or an email or however you wish to try and get to me. You know, I'm here for you. Peace and blessings. And without any further ado, thank you for coming. You can reach me at sankofahealing@netzero.com. Our phone number is 850-725-8322. You can also visit our website, sankofahealing.com. Some resources that you might want to use in your cleanse. I love Dr. Schultz's products, and those can be found at either herbdoc.com or 1-800-HERBDOC, or you can Google Dr. Richard Schultz. And also, if you want to really customize your cleanse and really zone in on what your specific issues, you can go to directlabs.com and you can order your own labs to be able to look into those matters to see how to customize and not be just all over the place. So that's the other thing. You know, sometimes we want to cleanse and then we're just all over the place. And the reality is you can't cleanse everything at one time because then you become a jack of all trades and a master of none. So one of the first things I want to encourage you to do is to zone in on a specific area in your life that you want that breakthrough and to make that the focus of your next cleanse. And I would love to be with you on that journey as you do so. And thank you once again for coming.